That's all that big guy now, bitch.
Don't play with me, don't play with me. Go play on the tunnel.
What you gonna do with it?
What you gonna do with Stitches? Classic.
Classic.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the members-only version of our podcast series. We're allowed to cough on this one. We're allowed to drink alcohol because we're not looking for necessarily sponsorship. But I think that the first thing we want to do with our first one is, might as well use this to kind of fill you in on projects that we're working on, may or may not be getting off the ground, but it gives you a sneak peek into some of the stuff that we are doing that won't necessarily reach the light of day for possibly upwards of 6 months to a year. So yeah, let's jump into that a little bit.
Yeah, just like a good way to, because we don't want to give away like all the secrets ahead of time on like our personal projects and stuff like that, especially with our short films, like commercial stuff, whatever. But it'd just be a good way to like people who are interested, you viewer, dear viewer, to get you like on board and into an area where you feel like you're part of our community, because you are, and we want you to feel like that. And on the main channel stuff, we can't necessarily go into a ton of detail because it just ruin the initial outcome of like the final product. I mean, obviously we're going to do a lot of videos on like or I am, and I'm sure if you wanted to be involved, like the prop making videos and like behind the scenes.
Do I want to be involved?
Like script writing and like pre-production stuff, which I think we should definitely do, like things like storyboards and stuff like that.
Well, and I think too is that this space will allow us to be like, okay, we can show you how far we're into a project. Like, here's some storyboards. Here's like some quick edits. Like, you get a chance to maybe see like a daily.
That would be cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would be a reason for us
to figure out this whole situation over here.
Yeah, we're working on that. But like, let us know if you are a member. Like, if there's anything you'd really like from us. But yeah, I think this would be an excuse for us to do basically our own version of behind the scenes of our own stuff that only people that are members would be able to see. And maybe we'll release it years later. Who knows?
Well, and it's also like a way for us to actually have something for the members who are so kindly paying for some extra access. We just don't have anything currently that we're like,
we're in the middle of it.
Yeah, we can't like shoot extra videos right now. So that's kind of the initial way to give you guys some extra content the best we can until we can start doing this full time.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into it. So we're basically in pre-production for a few different things, and some of them are even before pre. We're still like planning some of them. So the first one I want to address is basically, because we've mentioned it even on a couple podcasts already, is tell us like where we're at right now in that sci-fi. We've mentioned it, but like, why don't you kind of fill us in on that? What do you want to
the sci-fi were kind of, I guess, working title is The Collector.
The Collector.
Just because the initial idea, and Jesse's been helping me with, because I'm not good at the writing part. I'm good at the visuals part. And that's like always been my issue, is like I can never really make something because I don't write, and then I don't have anything to shoot because I don't write. So it's like a bit vicious circle. So it's like, it's good having someone like Jesse who is more of a writer and like can flush out these ideas. So the initial idea is that our character has been sent back to Earth in the far future after, we had to evacuate due to whatever. We haven't really come up with that quite yet. And maybe we won't, leave it ambiguous.
Yeah, ambiguous is fun.
Yeah, like, it was a Earth disaster that we had to leave.
Yeah.
So they're sending people back to take or collect, the collector, samples of soil and water and plants and this kind of stuff. And our person is taking those back and studying them. And then to add a little like drama in an actual storyline, they've been kind of trapped on Earth because their signal's been lost and they haven't been able to connect. And that's like a subject to change. It probably might change. But then at one point, the signal goes through without our character knowing. And then, the people kind of come in. So it's like a very basic storyline. But what I've been doing is like, unfortunately with Fort Collins, a lot of our materials shops are non-existent. Like, it's really hard to find local materials for prop making. And what I mean by that is like, we have nowhere in Fort Collins, Loveland, Greeley that has printer filament. The only place is in downtown Denver, over an hour away. So if I want just get printer filament for my 3D printer, it's going to be like a whole day event. I have stores, places that sell like plastics, so like styrene and all that kind of stuff, which a lot of it is going to be built out of that. So that's like kind of been my process right now, is just seeing what I can find locally, because I don't like buying stuff until I can kind of look at it and feel it and see if it would work for the prop that we're trying to make. Yeah. But it's really hard when like now Joann's is closing for good.
Really?
Like that's the only like fabric shop in the area. Like some of our craft shops like Hobby Lobby and Michael's have a small fabric section, but it's not the entirety of the store. So they're having a full, like all stores closing. So it's like, well, there's another thing gone. So like it is unfortunate, but so I'm trying to avoid the whole Amazon thing, but a lot of stuff is coming from Amazon. But I have so far a lot of the components for the backpack, which I'm very excited about. I haven't shown you yet, but I got
just have some pictures and pop those up too if we can.
Yeah, that'd be fun. I do have an Alice pack. I don't know if you've ever heard of an Alice pack.
Is that the one you showed me online, or is it just something different?
It might have been something I showed you.
You showed me like it's good for hiking. It's got a metal frame in it.
It's metal frame, but it's a military backpack. And I actually was very proud of myself for this one. I found a bunch of different packs, and we went to one of the pawn shops up north.
Really?
And they had an actual Alice pack that's been used, and it's like Desert Storm era.
Whoa.
It's like that light tan.
Yeah.
But the bottom bracket that holds there's like a belt was really bent, so I didn't go for it. But I looked up what it was. I didn't know what it was called, but I found out it's called an Alice pack, and it stands for something. And I should know this because I did research, but it's just, but it's basically a cargo backpack by the military. And so I bought that one, and I bought a few other backpacks and compared them all off Amazon, and I just returned the ones I didn't like and landed on the Alice pack. And then within the next week, was looking up, I'm like a super fan of Adam Savage, ever since Mythbusters era, but I've been watching a lot of his YouTube channel because it's so informative on prop building and just working with materials. And he, a year ago, built he replicated, replicated the new backpacks from the new Ghostbusters films.
Oh yeah. Cool.
He's also built the original ones multiple times over because it's one of his favorite films of all time.
Yeah.
And those are built off of Alice packs.
Really?
So the whole Proton pack.
Watch the newest one too, like Frozen Empire.
Proton pack is built onto the frame of an Alice pack. So just by my own, like, I like this look. I went out and found this thing, and I found out it's like an iconic pack for prop making.
Like it's one of the things.
Yes. So that was a big win. But yeah, I've basically just been going out and actually buying like a bunch of random little things as I come across it. And eventually I'll have everything I need to build all the props. And I'm gonna go grab some of them right now because I think this is kind of a fun way to do it. So you gotta talk to the folks.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, this is a great thing too, because this is why we wanted to do this, so we can show you some of the cool stuff we're working on. I mean, Sean's working on that Sci-Fi right now, and the beauty of that is it's not the point of the script. It's not us making some beautiful like short film that's going to win awards. It's the idea that we want to work on stuff that is going to help us practice a little bit. I think something else we want to do is that's in the stars that we're going to start doing is we're going to find a shot in a film and we're going to start mimicking it. Sean watches a lot of like filmmaking stuff too, and that's really going to help us kind of design future shots. And really, this is one of the first steps into doing something. And Sean literally bought a 3D printer from a friend of ours, Seb, who actually what's his Instagram again? It's
Starlight Sabers.
Starlight Sabers, which he just makes. He is so good at creating like like mimicked props for like sci-fi, specifically Star Wars stuff too, which is pretty wild. But yeah, you should follow him. We might even pop up a logo of his, but like that's where you got that 3D printer from.
Yeah,
I was talking about.
And we're gonna try to figure out how to get him on the podcast because he knows people in like Weta and people who've worked like on the Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
who worked on Alien Romulus. Like he knows the guy who painted the inner Minnie mouth that comes out. Like the guy who invented the color that is the Iron Man suit, red. Like. I think that was the guy who came up with the color of that. You know?
That's dope. Came up with the color of the Iron Man.
Yeah,
what a thing!
That candy red. He develops that color tone to match the comic books.
Got it.
But I'm gonna stand up. It's gonna be cropped weird.
It's okay. It's good.
But
yeah, pop it over here.
This is an Alice pack.
There you go.
Very military. Like we're gonna weather the crap out of this. But they're not much bigger than this. Like this is the only size I've seen. But this is like what. There's different iterations of this, but this is like what the proton packs of the Ghostbusters is built on.
We might pop up a shot of that too, so you guys can maybe even see where those are located on.
Yeah, but there's like so many cool things, like so many things you can interact with where like this doesn't do anything until you press this button and now it unlocks, and like little things like this where if you pull that and then pull that, now the strap is done. So it's like really interesting pack. That we'll weather and add our own stuff to, but it is like, I don't know, it's like a $60 thing. Well, at this point we could probably link it down below.
Yeah, right.
You might buy your own because
right.
They are like such a cool, unique. Let's get down here. Unique pack that you can build your stuff off of.
Yeah. And I mean, that's the beauty of all this too. Is like we're trying to take things that have been used in the past, and Sean's just discovering that they have been used in the past.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second.
And we found like we have a local military surplus, so you've just been buying stuff like this. That's a tent stake bag. It actually still has the tent stakes in it, but it just has such a beautiful weathering to it already that you don't have to do yourself. So we're going to incorporate stuff like that into it.
I guess that's the beauty of living here in Colorado is there's a lot of military. So
yeah.
We'll have a lot of military surplus.
And I just found this.
Look at that guy.
It's an old paint gun.
Yeah.
But it looks sci-fi enough that it's probably just going to be like on the shelf in the background.
Right.
But it's just an element that was $8 because it was $10 at the flea market, but it was 20% off.
Something sci-fi like this is like, what if this holds light and you're shooting light out of something dying?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I'm sure it's
holding plasma.
We could pressurize it and still shoot like mist out of it or something.
Right. That's cool.
But it just has such a beautiful look to it that I was like, fuck, for $8,
like sci-fi as fuck.
I'm gonna buy it.
Maybe even do something like that. Who knows?
And to go along with that, also got this,
nice,
which is also a very beautiful
pressure washer.
I think it's another spray gun.
Yeah,
because I think this would hook underneath.
Oh, gotcha.
But it just had a really cool look, and this actually comes out. And so I'm thinking of maybe putting like a screen or something there, or like a guard, just so it doesn't look like a spray gun. But that was something I found that I was like super stoked on.
This could be one of those. This could be anything from a murder weapon or to like something that's actually like you're like putting like
you know what I mean,
like
maybe our character gets stung and has to like
because there are creatures on this planet, you know, that we're talking about, or future Earth with no humans.
Right. Yeah. So I've just been like, buying things that look like our characters have been using them for years.
Yeah.
But they're like plant cutters and different tools. So I'm going to build like a tool kit that our character has.
It's a little bit closer, but
yeah, just like fun random things I found on like weird utensils. But things that just have a really nice like patina to them. This is just like
a weird dental tools.
Yeah.
What's that for? That's the pull
fence ply.
Yeah. To do cut lines.
But who knows what it's for, but I really liked.
I do like the idea of the character being able to collect like tools from Earth and utilizing it. That's kind of things like maybe they found something they could utilize for something else. Like that's just like the survival skills that this character has.
Yeah. And like
top of the line frontiersman.
Because I just didn't want it to be like new and shiny. So everything I've been trying to get, like these will be weathered.
Oh yeah. And just age them up and scratch them up.
Yeah. And this is like a blow up pillow from the military supply that I thought would be just weird and interesting because you can shoot like light through it.
Or, dude, it's got like an environment in it because remember you're trying to collect ants, so maybe there's just like some pond scum in it, like it's a bag of pond scum or something.
Yeah, which would be perfect with this.
Like, right?
This is also just a bladder.
We could just find a bunch of these, and these could be the collection. Like it could be the collection, like things for the samples out in the field or whatever.
Well, that's what the backpack would be for, but I do want to have an element of like drinkable water and a hose, like kind of Dune-esque.
Right.
But yeah, it's just like a bunch of random stuff we found at the military surplus for like dirt cheap, and it just has like a beautiful look to it. And I feel like because our character is sent back by probably a government to that kind of
you
stuff,
know that, or like a
will kind of have an echo of like a government thing. So
well, and also too is like if you're playing the game of they're trapped on this planet, we could have fresh tools that have broken and they've had to like modify and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's where like a lot of the wardrobe will come in, is like mended and repaired for years because there's hasn't been a new supply and they're running out of options kind of thing. So that's where I'm really excited because I love weathered looks of things. I love, like, if you ever come to my house, you'll know everything I own is used.
If you see the shelf jar right over here, it's just got an ancient cameras sitting up there and a kendama. So like, you know,
a really used kendama.
Used a bunch.
That's what I'm super excited. We're going to do a whole series of videos on it.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited.
And it's just like one of the first things we're able to try this on, because now that we become monetized and now that we're on the next level as YouTubers, like we're just trying to figure out how to keep the train going. Heck, we've already gained another 150 followers since we became like hit that 1,000 mark. We haven't even celebrated it yet, and it's still flying off. You know?
yeah. It's been very exciting because like this is something that I've personally been working on doing for over a decade, but I started so many different channels, and then we're like, let's just go all in on this one, make it work, and almost within a year of making that decision.
Sean's diligence on this has been helpful. Like he's the one that's been keeping us on track.
I'm like overly obsessed and passionate about YouTube. It's done a lot for me in terms of learning everything I fucking know about filmmaking.
Yeah, dude.
From YouTube.
It'd be great. Honestly,
and I want to pass that knowledge on, you know?
I would feel way more honor, and since it's Oscar season, to be part of the YouTube community of like creators that you and I have followed that honestly have helped us create our careers. To be able to say hello to those guys. Like, yeah, I would love to meet Spielberg, sure. But that's like childhood stuff. Like where we're at right now, if we could become a member of that YouTube like community, going like platinum, all that stuff, that seems more like cool.
Sounds so much fun.
It sounds like fun, like being able to sit next to Max Novak or something and be like, bro, dude, I've been watching your videos for years. Let's make something cool together.
Yeah. Hey, we're doing...
Or Mike Diva, who now works at SNL. Dude. We watched his stuff for years. The Corridor guy.
Yeah, one of my favorite. Yeah, like Corridor, like those guys, I'd be pretty starstruck. I feel like,
dude.
Like I've met celebrities,
but
meeting Nitra and Sam for the first time. Like maybe first cool to be like, hey, like we're shooting a sci-fi. Are you guys free this weekend?
Yeah.
Like let's fly you out and do this. Like,
yeah, right.
I feel like that'd be so
dude. That's where it's at. Man. Fuck, I'd even get the Churdley dudes out here. We can like anything like that. That just seems more iconic. Like, man. So like that's the community that we're trying to build with us, trying to go with. And I guess we got a little bit of time left. And you know, this was one of the more important things, and we've a little bit further down the road on this. But other stuff we're working on is it doesn't sound exciting, but it's kind of fun. But we got asked by the Larimer County Health Department to make some driver safety videos here in Colorado. And so we've kind of pitched some ideas. We actually went in front of like a youth group that I kind of pitched these ideas to see if they were funny or not. Got some pretty good feedback. So we're actually just now finalized the 4 scripts that we're going to work on, and we're putting those into production literally the next 2 weeks. So we'll be doing some behind the scenes on that coming up.
Yeah,
that's going to be cool. And, you know, just trying to do something different and actually doing something for the health department. We're also just, you know, in my job, I do a lot of conferences and stuff like that. So we're trying to make those connections to do more stuff like that. And then I also too have a sci-fi that I want to work on. But then Shad, another member of our team, has sent me over a script that he wants to work on. And we're not too far along on those yet for me to make any final decisions on where we're at. But like, there's a lot of stuff that we want to do this year. Last year we kind of took the year off. I've got a film festival that I want to get back on the ground, off the ground, and I want us to have like a badass like community like around that, which is some of the stuff we're talking about. So, I mean, just stay tuned. Like, this is one of the first times we can do this. We're popping up some footage and stuff like that, but I can't wait for you to be able to show you the behind the scenes. Might even be exclusive behind the scenes for our members too, even.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, yeah, we'll probably try to make something that is like a general YouTube video, but then maybe the uncut or deleted scenes version. That's like Quarter Guys, they do like their fun reacts, but then they do the extended on the website. So it could be the same video, just more content,
Right.
which I think that'd be pretty great.
That'd be pretty cool, right?
Because like I love watching Adam I can watch him for an hour and a half do nothing but ASMR, like just building. But I don't think I'm at that level where I'm going to have an audience for that long. So
Someday,
yeah,
go find us on an audience.
that might be like the members version where I go into more detail, like the process.
Yeah. But there's so many things we want to do, y'all, and this is getting us in the right path. And I feel like we've become like on a mission to do some stuff before, you know, we fully blow up. And I feel like if we just kind of are consistent, we can do some stuff. So stay tuned, guys. If you have any ideas or things you want to see us make, let us know. And I know Sean's out of the room. I'm going to bring it back up to you right now. But like shooting like scenes from movies, or like if you have any questions, like how is something made, and give us a reason to do it too. Like, hey, we'll just set the shot up. But we'll be pulling some stuff out of famous movies that we really love.
Yeah.
So
I think it's just a good way to practice and hone our skills. 'Cause a lot of the stuff we shoot is corporate, and you don't get the chance to like shoot something at Blue Hour with you know XYZ lens or whatever, you know, like.
And I'm so excited all the information, all the stuff you're learning too about all that again. Like, always educate yourself with YouTube, you know, and YouTube you. We're just chasing it down. So yeah. I mean, is there anything else you want to add, Sean? We just call it this?
Yeah, I think that's a fun little like insight into what we want to start doing on the members only side. We just felt bad having a members only side without any additional content or anything to give right away. But I have like plans on, you know, at certain tiers on here, or even Patreon. We have a Patreon if you prefer that, of like making like custom made camera straps and stuff like that, because I do leather work and sewing and stuff like that. But also something that I was brainstorming is we're going to have all these props and all this kind of stuff at the end of these shoots that we might not want to hold on to.
Yeah.
And so I was thinking it'd be a really fun way that like do like the prop store. I don't know if you ever heard of Prop Store, but they usually get lots from production studios that are wanting to offload their props from their films. And they recently did one for Blade Runner. I don't know if I showed you that. They sold off like everything from Blade Runner. I wish I had thousands of dollars. The coat for that, like, you know, Ryan.
Oh, you're talking about 2049.
2049, yeah.
It's
$25,000 went that coat
for the one that,
and like they sold the one-off binoculars that Deckard wears when he meets up with Deckard in the old Las Vegas. One off. They only made one of those binoculars, and it's the screen one. It's like so fucking cool. So like I was kind of inspired by that. It's like, sure, we'll probably have some props we'll want to keep.
Yeah, sure. Give us something to hang up on this wall behind.
Yeah, and that's the other thing we could talk about. But that, like, to offer our members and Patreon first dibs at buying props from our films.
Yeah.
As a way to help us with the next thing, but then you also get a little piece of memorabilia that if you like it enough, you know, you could have it as decor or use it in your own film. But we are planning, so this is a very basic bland wall. Another part of the short film is that we want to have the area where our person is studying plants and soil samples and water and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so we're hopefully, my plan is I have all this stuff over in this corner to help build this, but to build this whole wall out as like a sci-fi backdrop. So now like all of our future podcasts and YouTube videos will have a really nice, cool backdrop, but it'll be the set essentially, because at this point we can't afford to like rent a warehouse or like
we will
buy that kind of space.
It'll be nice to get there. Obviously, we'll get there.
But that will be its own whole build video whenever we get around to the funding and the time to do that. But it is this year. I know it will be.
We're doing it.
I'm very excited about it.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of the things, yeah, that we're excited about.
Yeah, so stay tuned. We'll keep you informed and let us know if you want us to do anything that you're excited about. Send us some props, send us some scenes.
Yeah, if you have a script that you're super stoked on but don't have a film company behind, like,
Let's see it. Let's
talk.
do it. Let's talk. Let's
and,
talk.
members get first access to that kind of shit. So.
Exactly. So there you go. All right, y'all. Good talking to you. We will be doing more of these, and we're excited to see the progress on this film. All right. Members only. Later. Cut it right here. Cool. All right. I got it. Jeez. All right. That was a good one.
Cool. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with all that.